Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Digest. So today we are going to discuss about one of the important feature of Java 8. Okay, so this feature is introduced in Java 8 and it is used Java 8 and onwards basically, not before Java 8. Okay, so we are going to discuss about lambda expression. Okay, so what we are going to discuss today is lambda expression. Lambda expression, right? So when I ask question about lambda expression in the interview, I have always seen most of the people either do not understand lambda expression or they are very confused about it. So let's try to clear all the conception regarding lambda expression, and let's clear the confusion regarding lambda expression, right? So first we have to know what is lambda expression. So in Java, lambda expression basically express the instances of functional interface. So the first term came, that is functional interface. What is functional interface? Functional interface, functional interface. Okay, so functional interface is an interface, okay, an interface which has, suppose this is an interface which has only one abstract method, like void, uh, get, name. Okay, this is abstract method in the inside interface, right? So when an interface contains only one abstract method, that is called functional interface. Okay, so we saw, right, how we have implemented interfaces. It either implements, or if I, an interface cannot be instantiated, right? If we try to instantiate an interface, we have to write a certain amount of code to implement those unimplemented methods, because all the methods inside interface are either default or abstract, right? Default means from Java 8 there are certain methods which are of type default, which can be which can have method body, but other than that all the methods are mandatorily abstract, right? So what is functional interface? When we have only one abstract method inside an interface is called functional interfaces. And always remember, this lambda expression will work with functional interfaces only. So what is that? The lambda expression basically expresses the instances of functional interface. Okay, and lambda expression in Java are same as lambda functions, which are the short block of code that accepts input as parameters and returns resultant values, right? So what are the benefit of lambda expression? So as you know that I've already talked about it. If we try to implement an interface, then we have to either implement it or we have to instantiate it. We cannot instantiate, but we can write like this. Suppose this is the get name is the method or abstract method, right? So interface is, suppose interface name. Okay, name is the interface. So in some other classes, if we uh, write like this inside main method, if we write like this, name n name, okay, name capital equal to new name, right? So here automatically you will get one error message here, right? So you will try to, I mean, you'll get that message, please implement the unimplemented methods, basically. Okay, so you will get some piece of code like this to implement the method. So the method is get name, right? Here it is void get name, and then you have to implement here. Okay, so this much code you have to write. Okay, now if we use a lambda expression or lambda function, then we don't have to write this much of code. Okay, it has it will provide a way to express the unimplemented method. Okay, to implement the unimplemented method in one liner way. Okay, so the benefit of that is you can achieve a particular uh, implementation, right, without having much lines of code, right? It is very important, the lambda expression is very important to iterate any kind of collection things like list, set, right, map. We can iterate using lambda expression. Now I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so and the main thing is a function that can be created without belonging to any class, because lambda is an expression. Lambda is an expression. Okay, lambda is not a class, because we do not need any class. Any class you can implement that lambda. So the dot class, it will not compile, I mean, it will not create any dot class file, basically. Okay, it is just an expression. So first thing is how to do that, I mean, how to use it. So let me go to code and create one interface. Which type of interface? It's functional interface, right? So functional interface dot java, and it is my interface, right? Now I have to declare it as functional interface. How to declare functional interface? It's just we should have only one. We should have what? Only one abstract method. Suppose the abstract method is, let's say, void magic. No implementation, and let's pass one parameter from here, right? So this is my abstract method, and I'm not going to use any other abstract methods. I can use any default method here. Default, let's say, print magic, something, anything, I mean, magic, print magic, right? And here we can put some sysout statement. Magic is printed. Okay, this is my interface, and I only have one abstract method. So that is that this interface becomes a functional interface, right? Now if we have one class, right, So let me create one class where we will implement all those things. Implement functional interface. This is a class. Now if we directly do like this, functional interface, new functional interface, see, you are getting one error message that type new functional interface must implement the inherited abstract method. Okay, inherited abstract method functional interface dot magic. So if we do go to quick fix and override, then this is the implementation. You have to write your code here. So all these things can be done with this much of uh, lines of codes basically. Okay, to implement only one interface, or not one interface, only one method, you are writing all these codes. Now I'll do it using lambda expression. It's very easy, just look into it. Okay, so let's say main method, right? Now we'll do it using lambda expression. So how to do that? So inside main method, let me create an object like sorry, what is the name? Functional interface, right? Functional interface fun equal to, right? See, what is the argument? How many arguments are there in the abstract method? This is one, right? So this is a one argument lambda expression. This is going to be one argument lambda expression. Okay, this is going to be one argument lambda expression, right? So what is the lambda, I mean what is the argument? It's int, right? Int x. This is the expression, arrow expression. This is the argument, this is the arrow expression. Okay, sorry. And now the implementation. Now the implementation, right? So it could be anything, it is in our hand, right? So it's, let's say sysout statement. In the implementation body, let's write 2 into x. Okay, 2 into x, correct? Now dot, if we call that magic, right? Magic, and the value of x, let's say 5, and if we run it, see, I am getting the value 10 here. So what we have done, we have just, I mean this lambda expression is only for functional interface. Why? Because functional interface contains only one abstract method. Okay, if it, I mean if there are many abstract methods, then this lambda expression or the whole thing will be confused. Okay, so which method to take? So when there is one abstract method, then JVM is sure that it will take that magic one, correct? So that is why functional interface is the criteria. Okay, so int x is the argument, right? Integer type argument, and then the arrow function system.out.println, and 2 into x is the implementation. System.out.println 2x is the actual implementation body, right? Now this is the way, suppose this is the way we have implemented the magic method in only one line, and in the next line we are just printing it, okay, or we are just calling that function. That's it. Okay, so this we have shown like only one argument. It could be zero argument also. Okay, it could be zero argument also. Suppose this is a zero argument. So if I go to implementation, and here this argument things would be blank. Okay, and system dot out dot println, there if there, as there is no x, so it will be like anything, any string, let's say lambda expression concept cleared. Okay, and here obviously there would be no argument, and if we run it again, we'll get lambda expression concept cleared, right? This is how lambda expression works. So this is for zero argument. We can have two arguments in the same way. Suppose this is int x, int y. We can have methods like this, right? So here we have to write some int x, int y. Okay, so xy could be anything, right? So what we can do here, we can just print, let's say x plus y, right? X plus y, and then in the magic, if we put like fun.magic 3, 4, it should give us result what, 7. So 7 is the result, right? So this is how lambda expression works. Okay, so always remember the lambda expression syntax. So first thing is the argument, okay, number of arguments or whatever arguments, and then the arrow function, and then the method body, not method body, actually implementation body. Okay, so likewise we can also create some, I mean let us see how to use it to iterate a list, right? Suppose we have a list here. Let me comment it out, and let's say I have a list, okay, list of, let's say, strings. lst equal to new array list. Okay, now let's say lst dot add suvam lst dot add is lst dot add a lst dot add good boy, right? Suvam is a good boy inside a list. Now I want to iterate this particular list. Okay, I want to iterate. So we have seen how to iterate list, how to iterate set, how to iterate maps, right? So now that was using for loop, right? For while loop, any loop you can use. You can also use this particular lambda expression, okay, along with for each method, Okay, so here is my list, lst dot for each, okay, for each method. Okay, inside for each you can write like n is the number, or not number actually, basically the elements, and then arrow expression or arrow function, right, sys out n, sys out n. So n is basically the elements of this list. Okay, so we are directly printing these particular elements. Okay, so if we run it, we'll get Suvam is a good boy, right? So instead of println, let's do print. Okay, and let's do like this, correct? Or rather, just a space, and if we run it, see, Suvam is a good boy, right? Suvam is a good boy, we are getting. Okay, so this is how we can iterate any list, or we can manipulate also, right? Or any collection framework things, right? Collection framework members like set, like queue, we can iterate. We can also iterate map, right? It's the same way. Suppose I have another array, let's say list, let's say this list is of integer type. Okay, and this is lstint equal to new array list. Okay, and let me okay, sorry. Okay, so now let me add some lstint dot add one sorry lstint dot add two lstint dot add, let's 3 lstint dot add 4. Okay, and from here I want to fetch only the multiple of 2, right? So it's same way we can do lstint dot, sorry, not here, lstint dot for each, right? Inside for each, what we have to do, we have to put this condition, right? So this is my elements. Okay, now this is my lambda expression, this is my expression. Now what is the condition? Condition, if, right, n modulus 2 equal to 0. This is how we normally determine whether the number is divided by 0 or I mean divided by some numbers, right? So n modulus 2 equal to 0, and then if it is true, then what? Then we have to print this particular number. That's it. Okay, this particular number. Okay, fine. Now if we run it, see, Suvam is a good boy. Then 2 and 4. 2 and 4 means basically it is showing what are the numbers divided by 2. So 2 and 4 are the numbers which are divided by 2, right? For safety purpose, let me print here a new line. So sys out system.out.println. This is the new line basically. So if we run it again, we'll get the answers separately. So this is for the above one, and 2 and 4 for the below things, right? So this is how lambda expression works. Hope it is clear, right? We can try any of the combinations, any of the iterations with the lambda expression. Maybe you can do it in your as a homework, right? So you can create one functional interface and with various number of arguments, okay, and you can implement those unimplemented method or the abstract method using lambda expression, correct? Using lambda expression. So you can perform some addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So all these things can be achieved using this kind of multiplication, lambda expression. So this is uh, uh, very important for uh, professional programming. Okay, when you want to uh, code something which looks very professional, right? So this kind of conception uh, what I say, you must be clear of this kind of conceptions, right? You have to implement those things in your code. Okay, some important points intake from this all these discussion regarding uh, lambda expression could be: the body of the lambda expression can contain 0, 1 or more statements, right? When there is a single statement, uh, curly brackets are not mandatory. If there is a single statement, the statement is only single, then we do not need any curly bracket, right? Like here we did only system.out.println. So here we can put some curly bracket also, and if we are not putting any curly bracket, that is also fine. Okay, that is also fine. Because we have only one expression. But here, if you see here, we have multiple expressions here, multiple conditions we have covered. We are checking whether this particular number is divisible by 2 or not. Correct? Okay, fine. So when there is more than one statement, then this must be enclosed with curly brackets, right? So these are the structural things of lambda expression. Okay, so I think that's all for this particular topic, lambda expression. Hope you have understood and you have cleared all the conceptions of lambda expression, because we are going to use this uh, this concept in our subsequent classes, subsequent sessions, right? So that's all, and thanks for watching, thanks for your time.